entered. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To accept this call, press 5 now. To decline this call, hang up. Thank you.
Well, good morning, people. Blessings to you all.
Good morning, Patrick. How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad, not too bad. Agnes is on the plane. Either she's in Seattle or she's nearing Seattle right now.
Wow, that's great. When is she expected to visit you?
Yes. Starting the 7th and going until the 19th.
Nice.
I believe it is.
Wow, that's wonderful.
We should have 11 visits in there, and the first 2 should be with Robert and his wife, Carol, and my grandson,
Wow,
Raymond. So
that's wonderful. I'm really glad to hear that.
Also, I've been getting emails from Cyrus Davis, youngster that was in the cell with me that's from the coast, and he was in the cell with me at Coyote Ridge before Agnes picked up your emails and stuff and got connected us with you, and he got out, and there were 2 other individuals that came into the cell after that, but I lost contact with him after his first email after he got out. And I didn't know why, and I couldn't figure out and stuff. And finally, when I got back here, I got an email from him letting me know that he was alive and well and in Bellingham. And over the course of things, he's wanting to help, like Tracy Epper and some others that are connected. And he put a great statement about his life after meeting me in the prison and stuff. He got into a scrape. Him and his brothers were in and out of prison and stuff. And just after he got out, he got into a scrape that was almost his death. He got shot in the chest with a AK-47 and he died on the operating table, and they brought him back. And after he got through it, he was okay. And he was writing on there that his life had changed around and things, and it was just luck that he wasn't part of a criminal act with that. And rather, he got free of all of that, and wondered what his thought processes behind everything was. What would Pat Hoffman do in this situation? Because he'd spent such time with me in the cell and our talks and stuff, and it brought him back around to trying to find me and get a hold of me and try to help me, because he knew with the crossing over and coming back that I was innocent beyond a doubt. So I told him about the affidavit that Agnes found and how Agnes was coming to see me and Robert and stuff, and I told him there was another individual that had came into the cell after him that promised to help pay an attorney if nothing else turned up before then. So I gave him the name to try to find out what released today or tomorrow. And maybe hello.
Hold on. I lost you there, Patrick. Hold on. You still there?
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard sounded like a rattlesnake in there.
I don't know what's going on. We had a technical difficulty for a second.
Okay. Anyway, all of the things are good and a go, and I told him about Agnes coming to visit and stuff, and he's all up and willing to help me any way he can to get free. So I've got another one that's signed on for good. So
Yeah.
here we go.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome that you're going to get the visitation from Agnes and your son and your grandson and your sounds like your son's
Yeah.
wife. That's great.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How are things with you? How's your mama doing?
Well, she's in rehab now, and we got to go visit her real soon. But we haven't got to a point in the rehab where we're going to be able to determine her long-term care. So that's still up in the air. And yeah, we'll wait and see where that's going to go. But yeah, thank you for asking about. Thank you for asking about her.
Yes. Well, I'm concerned about it because of her age and stuff, and because she's your mama. We
Yeah.
got to take care of her.
It's the fifth. It's the fifth commandment, right, Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So.
that's good. So Agnes is on a plane right now, and she'll see you on the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She should be in town tonight sometime, probably after 6 o'clock here.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah.
There's not any danger of her being turned away, right? Because I hear a lot of horror stories about people traveling long distances to visit their prisoner family member. We even had one guy, his 90-year-old father had traveled across the United States to visit his son, and they turned away his 90-year-old father after he had already got approval to visit. And we just hear about stories like that all the time.
Well, they've been good here. They've been better here than they have any place else, because the ones that have worked here the longest remember me from when I was in here before 2000, from 86 to 2000, and they knew my walk then, and it hasn't changed. So there are ones here that the last time we were here over a year ago that came up to the visiting table when Agnes and I were there, and the one said to me, Hoffman, I don't care if you even did what got you here. It's time for you to go home.
Yeah, amen.
So, yeah. And the other one had said to me and then repeated it to Agnes that if he had any way to win the lottery and stuff and get millions of dollars and stuff, he would pay for an attorney to get me free. So, and that's Hispanic out of South America. He, I think it's Bolivia is where his ancestry comes from, and he's a very, very nice and astute gentleman. He's strong-willed, but he's pleasant. He's like me. He can be a bear if he needs to be, or he can be a saint. So.
Yeah, amen. Have you received any letters that I've mailed you? I've mailed you some letters within the past week, and I'm just curious if you got any.
Yeah, I haven't got anything yet. Now, maybe why is because I'm at Walla Walla, and the address for my cell is Dog, England, 129.
Well, let me bring up your address that I have and see if it matches. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, come on, Rudy. My computer's being slow right now. It's like when
you're sounding like me now.
Yeah, I know.
Cussing at myself because things don't happen the way they're supposed to.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I found it. So here's what I got. Patrick G. Hoffman, 232336, Unit DE 122, 1313.
No,
it's not?
That goes to 129 now. I moved up to a single man cell at the end of the tier.
So if I send a letter and it said Unit DE 122, they won't give it to you?
No, it'll get there.
Oh.
It'll get there. As long as it has my correct name and number on there, they'll find me.
Okay.
It may take them a month, but they'll find me. Even if it goes to a different institution. But,
but I should change that. I should change it to 129.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And everything else should be the same. 1313 North 13th Avenue.
Right.
Walla Walla.
Yep.
And the zip code is 9362.
Yep, that's right. Okay, I'm going to change it to DE 129 while we continue. Then, very good.
Okay, that's good. How is Erin doing? Your wife?
She's doing good. She's really helping me.
Everything okay?
She's really helping me with the mother situation, and so I'm really grateful to have a good wife. No doubt about that.
Well, I was a bit concerned. We had seemed like maybe we had differences about the Epstein thing.
Oh yeah.
There, and I wasn't sure about what was going on there, but to me it looks like this was all a setup to kill the guy and grab his money. I don't know anything else, because why would the FBI wait until after he's dead to go on his island if he were truly guilty of whatever they're making out him to be? All of this, it seems time and time again, there's different ones being brought up on the public in the media on alleged charges, and there's nothing founded to it. If it was real, why didn't it happen the following morning that it was supposed to have happened?
Well, I think the Bible says you'll know them by their fruits, and right, this Epstein character has been very, very close to Hillary and Bill Clinton, and to some extent Donald Trump, and a lot of bad actors that are known for their corruption. So I don't have any faith in Epstein, whether they killed him or whether they got him out of prison and he's now, alive and kicking somewhere else under a different name. Who knows? I don't have any trust in the Bureau of Prisons or the criminal justice system, but I tend to think that Epstein is a bad actor. I do believe that.
Well, I do too. The other problem is when I was with my previous wife, Penny, she brought up some information about the Clintons on their way from Little Rock to the White House. And part of it was that there were at least 13 people killed in that moving process from time to time. There were ones that found out that the then President Bush was landing Contra arms at the air terminal at Little Rock, and some people found out about it, and they ended up being found dead later. And Mr. Bill Clinton had approached the president and told him he's going to step down and let him become president, or he was going to open the case on the Contra, on the drugs and the weapons and stuff going to the Iran-Contra work and stuff. And that's when Oliver North got pulled into that Senate hearing and stuff, and things like that. And he was kind of the scapegoat of that, to try to cover over and do things in order to allow the government to continue. So there we are with that. It's an unusual thing, but it makes me wonder just how much truth there is to those 13 people being killed on their way to the White House.
Oh yeah, and, I think they have a website now, or some kind of site on the internet called the Clinton Body Count, and I forget the number, but it's incredibly high. It's a lot higher than 13. When I was raised, or when I was born and raised up, I was led to believe that nobody operated above the law, right? And that's certainly not the case. We got people that operate above the law, and they pretty much do what they want to do, kill who they want to kill, torture who they want to torture, put in prison who they want to put in prison, and they're never held accountable. So my little idea of the world and the country that I lived in has been completely shattered as I grew up. So.
Well, the things that are surrounding me now, I had paperwork that showed up in the Tribal Tribune about the tribal chairman at the time that our case went down, telling the public media that he was donating $60,000 of the tribal corporation's money to have us prosecuted, because if tribal members shoot at the tribal police, they're shooting at the tribal council also. Yada yada yada. And this affidavit that Agnes found in the paperwork and stuff completely contradicts that and shows that payment was to suppress us and to suppress public knowledge, not to afford truth and justice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to find the man and I'm going to string him up by the thumbs in court when I get the chance.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people need to be held accountable for their wicked actions. Let me ask you this, Patrick, because I know you're plugged into the American Indian movement, and you know what.
Yes.
You know, if somebody was to ask you, because every movement needs leadership, right? If you look at the African American leadership, they claim Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, or I consider them con artists, right? I mean, they're not really leaders of the African American community. I could give you some real good leaders in the African American community, but if you were to say who are the established leaders of the American Indian movement in America to stand up for American Indian rights, what names come to mind? Are there any good ones that you know of that are providing good leadership for that cause?
Well, at this point, all of the original leaders that started the AIM movement have passed on. Ernie Banks and Floyd Redcrow Westerman and Russell Means and
Russell Means, yeah, I remember that name. That brings back a lot of old memories. I remember seeing videos of him and him giving YouTube speeches. And Russell Means, I'm glad you mentioned that. It reminded me of him. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please continue. Yeah, please continue.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
He was a good man, and he was a movie actor also that played in what the name of the show, The Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
The last time that they made it with Daniel Day-George, and playing the Pathfinder in that. And Wes Studi is probably the only one left out of that group that is still active as an actor and as the trying to lead and help out in a directive sense. This oil pipeline that came through, that they pushed through and stuff, back a year ago, he made comment in our tribal paper that he was going there with his son to try to support them in what they were doing. And odd as it may seem, Agnes had visions of people being in kind of a pit up to their waist or a little higher, holding up their hands, trying to get somebody to pay attention and pull them out. The photo that showed that, where the had plastic shields and were pushing them into water, was the picture in her mind that she had been seeing over and over and over again, that she was being asked by them to help get them out.
And you mentioned Wes Studi. I don't think I've heard that name. Can you spell it just so when I look it up?
W-E-S and S-T-U-D-I.
Oh, Wes Studi. Okay. Do you have respect for him?
Yeah.
Do you think he's got a good heart and actually trying to do good things? Or
he played in several. He was Magua in that same movie that Russell Means was. He was the one that got sent over the cliff.
I see.
And he also played a detective in Heat, and he's played in one now that's not so far away. This actor that played a couple years ago, the new Conan the Barbarian movie, they got together and did a movie about
You have 60 seconds remaining.
a half-breed Indian from the Oklahoma reservation going out and trying to help his people because his half-sister or something got raped by these people. And he was out for vengeance. So
I see.
Those things are coming in. Anyway, it's good to hear you. Good to be with you. Take care. Blessings. And Love and respects always.
Yep. Peace and blessings.
30 seconds remaining.
Peace and blessings to you, Patrick. I'm really glad to hear that you're going to get to visit Agnes, your son, and your family. What a blessing!
Yes.
That I look forward to hearing you after that. And please know you're in our prayers.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, and I hope my letter makes it to you. I hope my letter makes it to you.
I believe it will.
Okay.
Have a good day.
God bless. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.